up, guys? This is Jake the Honeybear Heun, and you are listening to the We Are Rizin podcast.
Hey everybody, you are listening to the We Are Rizin podcast. This is your host Andrew Benjamin, and I am joined by a returning guest. I've got with us Jake Heun, who will be fighting Roque Martinez at Rizin 16 in Kobe on June 2nd. Jake, thank you again for doing this interview. I appreciate you taking your time out to talk.
Yeah, hell yeah, brother. I'm happy to be here.
So just tell us, what have you been doing in between your first fight in Rizin, which was last year, and now? What have you been doing in between then and now?
Man, since the last time I was there would have been August. I have been traveling around a bit. I moved from Thailand to Australia. Was in Alaska for a period of time, just seeing family and stuff. Actually had a fight while I was there. And then, yeah, I've moved down here to Australia, and I'm working and training out of Absolute MMA down here in Melbourne. And it's been pretty good, man. Can't complain. So, except for this weather, it turns out that Australia's southern hemisphere, so the weather is now winter down here, and it's fine.
Did you? So you switched to a different camp from Tiger Muay Thai in Thailand to Absolute MMA?
Yeah, yep. It was nothing bad with Tiger. It was time for me to get out of Thailand. I'd been living there on and off for about 3.5 years, and Thailand's great, but it's kind of a time vortex, and you kind of get lost in it. And it was just time to get out of there and make a change. My girlfriend's family's from down here in Melbourne, so we came down to visit them. We actually had plans to go ahead and move over to Bali afterwards, but we kind of fell into a good situation here in Australia, and just kind of we're staying here. We're going to ride this train until the wheels fall off for a little while, and then who knows, maybe we'll move to Russia next.
How's the training different from what they did at Tiger Muay Thai to Absolute?
Well, Absolute is it's a really, really high-level jiu-jitsu gym. I haven't been taking as much advantage as I should, but guys like Craig Jones and Kit Dale and LaShawn and some other guys, they all base out of here. So you get some real high-level jiu-jitsu guys here. And then it's a bit more MMA-centric. I wouldn't say there's the same number of bodies as there were at Tiger. Tiger had that just rotating crew of just every dude that's ever trained from Chechnya coming through there and shit like that. And, the weather was always pretty good for training and stuff, but it's been good. It's been a good change. It's been a good change of pace.
You said you mentioned Russia before. I know that you recently had a fight in Siberia.
Yeah, that was an experience.
What? Yeah, talk about that. What was it like going? Because I remember you posting about it on Twitter, and you were just like, "Hey, does anybody know if they have internet in Siberia or stuff like that?" What was that like?
So, man, it was a trip. I ended up taking a fight out there. I was in Kemerovo, which is basically just in the middle of Siberia. I flew out, didn't have a corner. My corner couldn't get his visa, so I flew out there by myself. Don't speak the language, don't do anything. Get stuck in Moscow for 18 hours before I go out to Kemerovo. Get to Kemerovo, just kind of get left alone, And then, so on fight day, they come around, they pick me up, they throw me in a locker room for like 8 hours by myself, nobody to talk to. Gave me one roll of tape to try and tape my hands with. I was wearing 10-ounce gloves, and my opponent was wearing, thanks, baby, was wearing 4s. I'm not gonna say it was like a bit of a stitch up, but it was. I definitely was not given the best opportunity to get the job done. That being said, I got picked up with a double leg and slammed on my ribs, cracked my ribs, and just got Kimura. The guy I fought was actually he's a really tough guy. I reckon he's going to go pretty far. But for all you other fighters out there that might be listening, don't take random ships to Russia. It's generally not going to end in your favor.
Well, if somebody contacted me and said, "Hey, we are a Russian promotion. We want you to come all the way to Siberia," I'm thinking, no, this has got to be like a trap or something. It's got to be like some kidnapping thing where they're gonna cut off your finger.
My girl was convinced I was gonna get kidnapped by the KGB. It was a weird trip. It was an experience, that's for sure. You know, the shit you do for a paycheck sometimes. That's why I'm excited now. I got a good deal going with Rizin. I'm gonna be there for 3 fights, and so I don't have to deal with that shit for a little while.
Okay, good. Well, actually, yeah. Well, so was it? What did you? Was it three fights when you initially signed, or did you extend the fight deal, Rizin?
So that was extended. The first fight against Jiri, that was a one-off. We discussed maybe doing a deal after that. It just kind of never went through. And then when they got a hold of me on this one, I said, "Hey guys, I like fighting for you. So why don't we make this? Why don't we make this relationship official?"
Mm-hmm. And so the first fight on this 3-fight deal is against Roque Martinez.
Yeah. It's a good fight, man. I got mad respect for Rocky. You know, I talked a little bit of shit when I first saw him fight Lebanner, but the guy really earned my respect when because he fought on the same card against Krokop as when I fought Jiri, and you know the dude can fight, man. He shows up, and I really think for the Japanese crowd what they like and what they appreciate. I really feel like our fight's gonna bring to the table. You know, it's gonna be 2 big guys who can actually move a little bit and can throw, and I'm excited for it. It's gonna be a good scrap.
Yeah. You're also going up back. I think. Are you going back to heavyweight?
Yeah, man. I've been bouncing around the entire time. I fight light heavyweight, open weight. My fight in Alaska and the fight in Russia were both heavyweight fights, and then this one will be heavyweight as well. So it's all right. I've been sitting right around 108 kgs, so I'm not too worried about it.
Is there a cap off for what the weight, or are you coming down? Is it prime heavyweight, or are you coming to some sort of catch weight agreement?
No, it's straight. It's 120 kg cap, so it's straight heavyweight. It's not open weight. I was hoping for open weight, but I guess it doesn't really make a difference if we're both under 120. But open weight just sounds so much better. You know what he said.
There's an extra when open weight is said, it's like, I don't know why. It just there's just something about when you say that it's open to any weight, and then it's
great. It can be middle man versus Bob Sapp.
Exactly.
I love it.
Exactly. So yeah, you are familiar with Roque Martinez. Have you seen all of his fights in Rizin?
I've seen the majority of them. Yeah. I've seen I've seen Lebanner. I've seen Samurai Mark Hunt. I've seen Krokop, of course. I was there, and I've watched a couple of his other fights from his older stuff, and I like skill set wise. I like what he brings to the table versus my game. I feel like it's a good matchup for me. Kid's strong. He moves well. For a big man, he moves well. Puts his punches together in bunches. But dude's got a big head. So that's a big easy target to hit at.
Mm-hmm. Now, for a guy who's mostly known for knocking out his opponents, is he somebody that you would want to stand and bang with, or do you want to try to Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, there's no need to even finish the question. Yeah, we're gonna stand and we're gonna fight. I'm not gonna go over there and take him down we're gonna take him down and rub bellies with the dude. Mm-hmm. Let's be real. That's one thing I really enjoy about Japan and the Japanese crowd. They want to see you go out there and put it on the line, and we're gonna put it on the line, man. I don't foresee this turning into a jiu-jitsu match. I don't foresee it turning into a wrestling match. Rocky's heavy-handed, but I got a hell of a shin. Mm-hmm. So we'll see how it goes down.
Speaking of standing, I know that when we talked about the Jiri fight, you said you were going to stand with him, and you wound up doing that. And one of the things I want to talk about that fight is that initially that fight was not supposed to be the last fight on the card. It became it became the de facto main event.
We became the Typhoon main event.
Yes, exactly. So I just want to know, like, how did it feel like being told you are going to be the last ones going up, and actually, the funny thing is that even though there was a typhoon, that crowd still stayed for most of that show. So
yeah, the crowd was. I mean, even when I walked out, I really reckon the crowd would have stayed a lot longer if it hadn't been for the Tekken stuff in between.
Oh yes, that was the Tekken stuff. Yeah.
I think a lot of people bailed then, but I mean, I'll tell you what, there was probably still 25,000 there when I walked out, and man, Saitama is a trip. That was a treat walking out that. And I'm really looking forward to getting back there. I really want to be there this New Year's on that show. So I'm gonna go out and put on a damn show with Rocky and make sure I get my ass to Tokyo for New Year's.
Are you gonna be coming out back in the Top Gun here?
That shit's classified, brother. I got something all new lined out.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Curious to know. So after this fight, you win this fight. Anybody who you want to fight next?
I have to really, because the thing with Rizin is, man, I was giving Shingo shit about this. It's like I don't even know who's on the roster because it's so in and out all the time.
Yeah.
I would love to have a fight against one of the giants. I would love, like, it sounds dumb, like I'm not calling out a guy that's kind of past his prime, but like a Hotman Choi or a Bob Sapp, something like that would be great. But if there's other heavyweights around that are maybe more in a hunt for a heavyweight title in Japan, in Rizin, that's something I'd like to do. And if all the cards fall on the line, I'll run this thing out at heavyweight, and then maybe me and Jerry can run it back. Because to be fair, I mean he was getting the better of me, but I was still standing up when they called that fight. I was on my feet still throwing. So. Oh yes,
I remember you were. If there was no referee, you would have still been happy to still continue.
We were still throwing.
Yeah. Well, one person who you've been wanting to fight, it seems like, is a Russian. His name is Vitaly Shemetov. Is that something?
Yeah.
Would you like to?
Hell yeah, I'd love to fight. Vitaly's got a good record. It'd be a good win. I don't know what his deal is. Has he been signed, or is he with the promotion? Or?
Well, there recently was a Yahoo Japan article that showed the Shemetov brothers with Sakaki Bara, and it looked like they were signing something. And I know that he is currently in Japan right now, so maybe is the only answer.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. But I mean, absolutely, man. That would be. That'd be a great fight. The dude likes to put on a show. He likes to talk with the fans and stuff. So, any opportunity I have to get one back against the Russians, I'm with it. It'll be Rocky IV all over again.
Oh yes. Did you? I don't know if you saw the anything that was going on at the last Rizin show, Rizin 15, but he was at the Rizin show and he was meeting fans, and he was dressed up in and what was it, like a red. I think it may have been a onesie, like one long red onesie with just Rizin on it.
It's an interesting character, man. I hope that character translates to the ring if we get in there. We can actually put one on.
I think it absolutely would. I'm trying to think of any other fights. I would bring up Krokop, but unfortunately Krokop just retired recently.
Krokop was one I was definitely interested in. Because originally the way that shit was lined out was the winner of Jury and I was meant to get Krokop.
Yeah.
But things happen. I just hope Krokop's helped that thing as well. That dude's a legend. If Fedor decided to come back across, I know they're doing some cross promotional stuff with Bellator. That would be great.
Mm-hmm.
There's some other guys, over on the Bellator side. There'd be a fun fight. Like I used to train with Roy Nelson. I think he'd put on a fun fight for me. There's some other guys, but a lot of that shit comes into what they're doing cross promotionally with Bellator. So see what happens, man.
Well, actually, speaking of cross promotion of Bellator, the current champion is Ryan Bader. If you got a few wins in Rizin, and would Ryan Bader potentially for a crossover fight be something?
Oh, hell yeah, 100%. I mean, anytime you get offered a fight like that, that's an automatic yes. That's an automatic sign of the contract.
Mm.
And that's another one. Stylistically, I like that matchup. Bader has shown that against guys who are a little more athletic and move a lot, he has some issues. So could be an interesting one.
And let's see. You did bring up Bob Sapp. I don't know if they're going to bring back the sumo guy that Bob Sapp fought.
Oh, man, how great was that fight?
Oh, I love that fight. It was actually one of my favorite fights of the last year.
3-minute rounds and they're not even making it. It was the best thing I've ever seen.
Oh, it was fantastic. But I'm pretty sure that he's not going to be brought back for another fight.
Yeah.
It's actually funny you brought up Hongman Choi. He's actually going to be fighting in Ganrujima. The moat fight. It's a promotion that has the mats like on a moat or something.
Yeah. And the rule set's kind of weird with that too. Yeah, like they have some like where you can win with throws or some shit.
Yeah, it's kind of like they like use like old judo rules or something. Where, like if you throw the guy on the ground, you win. I don't know if you throw the person in the pool in the moat if they that counts as a win though. Let's see. I'm trying to think of other potential fights that would be. Also Mark Hunt is not with UFC anymore, and never know, he might come to Japan at some point.
Hey, Mark is a friend of mine. We've trained a little bit together, quite a bit actually, out in Thailand. But at the end of the day, I've fought friends before. It's and you tell you what, man, Mark is you have to get paid to fight Mark. Mark is that left hook can erase some years on your life.
So, is there any? If you said you fought friends before, is there any like how do you prepare to fight a friend? I guess is my question.
The thing is, at the end of the day, what it comes down to is when I get into a street fight, I'm not fighting the guy across from me in the ring because I'm pissed off because he grabbed my girl's ass or he owes me money or something like that. I'm fighting because we're both professionals and that's what we're getting paid to do. At the end of it, we'll have a beer. I mean, there's kind of like an honor among thieves type of deal. You know what I mean? We're both being professionals. We're in there to get a job done, and when the fight's done, that means the job's done. So the fight's over there.
Mm-hmm. I just also wanted to know, were you at all asked to be in the PFL season this year, or is this? Are you seeing like you're done at PFL?
I kind of made it clear I wasn't super interested.
Okay, gotcha.
They're going a different direction. They have all of, I wish them well, but they left. I left PFL with a bad taste in my mouth last year. It didn't really have much to do with Ray or any of those guys. It was just kind of the way things got handled when I got injured, and it's just not something I have any interest to do again. I hope all the guys have the opportunity to go make $1 million, but I want to go fight in rings in Japan and throw soccer kicks and stomp people in the face.
Actually, will elbows be allowed in your fight with Rocky?
I believe so. I would have to take a look at my contract again because it's kind of fight to fight on that shit.
Yeah.
So I'm not 100% on that. I should actually probably take a look at that.
Because it's actually funny with his when Rocky fought Crow Cop, there were elbows allowed, and actually it was for most of Crow Cop's fights. They didn't have elbows in his fight, and so the one fight that Crow Cop has elbows, he elbows Mark Hunt in the face and gave him that cut above his eyebrow, which they stopped the fight for, which I found which was quite ironic considering that most of Crow Cop.
It's crazy. The thing with the Japanese, like because of the media over there, it's funny. Like they'll allow soccer kicks on the ground and stomps and stuff, but they don't do well with blood. So as soon as the elbows become involved, they're like, no, we don't want that. Because, if you really look like with Rocky's fight with Crow Cop, it was a clean elbow that landed. It was a decent cut, but I don't know if we're in the Western world if that fight is stopped for that elbow.
It was actually funny because for Rizin 15, there were a few fights where people got bloody noses and they were stopping the fights just to wipe the bloody noses off, to clean off their bloody noses, and I was like, I couldn't believe it.
Different world, brother.
Yeah. So actually, speaking of heavyweight, do you think the Rizin should eventually establish a heavyweight title at some point?
1,000%. I think if Rizin does the way that they're going to go and the way that kind of there's a hunger for like the Japanese scene to kind of come back, and I think there's enough guys in the heavyweight division that they could get a hold of that they could actually put together a pretty decent heavyweight division over there.
And then maybe they could do a open weight belt.
Oh yeah, I'm waiting for the Super Hulk to come back. That's all I want.
Oh, super! You talking about the Iranian guy?
Yeah, no. Do you remember the old Super Hulk tournament they had?
Oh yeah, yes. All right, when you said the Hulk, because there's this Iranian fighter, you must have seen a picture of him. Who goes by? Yeah, and I thought that's like who he was talking about. I was like, oh my god, like.
You know what though? I bet you that dude would sell in Japan. I bet you. He would.
Oh, absolutely. I'm trying to remember which promotion. I think he's fighting for KSW in Poland.
It would have to be. It would have to be KSW. They're all about that freak show stuff over there.
But I could definitely see like Rizin, like if they ever see a picture of him, their eyes are just gonna like light up and like ideas for fights.
Yeah, right.
So I'm just curious to know. So like, what do you do in your off time when you're not fighting? What is JQ doing on an off day?
On an off day, I'm generally hanging out and eating food and grabbing a couple beers. Man, I'm pretty easy. I just like to kick it and go out and have a good time, man. I don't really do too much other than that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm either in the gym or in the bar usually.
Actually, we did bring up Top Gun before, and when you came out with the Top Gun get up when your first Rizin show, I'm curious to know: are you happy that Top Gun 2 is apparently coming out?
Yeah, man. I think it's interesting. I don't know if Tom Cruise is just a vampire or what. That dude doesn't seem to age. He looks exactly the same. So it should be interesting. It should be an interesting cut. I did see a little those internet memes where it had Tom Cruise and then it had the woman who was Charlie in the movie, his flight person.
Was it Kelly McGillis? I think it was.
Yeah, she looks like she's 1005.
Yes.
So, I can't see her being in the movie.
Oh no! Yeah, Kelly McGillis unfortunately has not aged well since her Top Gun days.
Hollywood was mean to her.
I'm trying to think of who else was who else. I don't know if they're gonna get who was it? Chris Adams who did the song. No, it was Brian Adams. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I don't reckon Val Kilmer will be in it.
Yeah. Because I don't know what he's done lately. If anything. But I also want to ask about your tattoos. I'm intrigued by your tattoo on your left hand. That's a recent tattoo, I believe, right?
Yeah, I didn't have that before I went to Japan last time.
So what?
Thailand before I left.
Is that a Japanese mask inspired?
Yeah.
I forgot what is it called. Is that like was it called an Oni Baba?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, what made you want to get the Oni Baba tattoo?
Well, I got all the Japanese stuff on the other arm, but I dug it, man. I decided I had a buddy who opened up a tattoo shop in Phuket. He said, "Hey, man, come down. I'll give you a free tattoo." He's like, "All right." And I was like, "What do you want?" I was like, "I don't know. Let's put a mask on my hand." I just ran with it. And I'm hoping actually sometime throughout my stays in Japan this time, I want to go get some. I want to get my other arm done. I want to get it tapped in. So if any tattoo artists out there are listening, holler at your boy.
Well,
get the tattoo work done.
In Japan, I'm not so sure if opening a tattoo place is usually the best business decision.
Yeah.
But I don't know. But there's probably like tons of there's got to be some people in Australia who do tattoos like that.
Oh no, absolutely. I want to get one done traditional style in Japan.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
When you went to Japan last time, did you have to cover up any of your tattoos?
I didn't have to cover, but I couldn't go into the sauna at the hotel.
Yeah.
I had to go find because I cut to 93 for that one, so I had to find a Korean sauna out in Tokyo, go cut weight there and come back. I couldn't use the hotel sauna, that type of stuff, which is fine. I mean, it is what it is. I understand the reasoning behind it.
Mm-hmm. But it sounds like you're well prepared for this fight. It's definitely gonna be an exciting fight. I want to give you an opportunity in case if Roque Martinez ever listens to this audio. I want you to say whatever you want to him or about him. The floor is yours.
Yeah, Rock. Looking forward to fighting you, brother. Let's put on a damn show for the Japanese, man. One of us is gonna go night. Let's get paid. We'll have a beer.
And I want you to give you a chance to plug your social media, your team, sponsors, and anybody else you want to give a shout out to.
Yeah. Hey guys, go ahead and give me a follow on Instagram at Honeybear MMA. It's pretty hilarious to follow. My Twitter is at JHeun, and nobody uses Facebook anymore, so don't even worry about it. And I just want to give a quick thank you to my team out here at Absolute MMA, my management at Sucker Punch Entertainment, and Dragon Coin for having my back in the cryptocurrency dollars. And also to my trainer / other half. Say hey, babe.
I will say your Instagram is quite entertaining, especially when you are working out or having to eat healthy foods. Because you seem like
it's better that way.
Because anytime it seems like you got healthy food, it seems like it's just pure torture for you.
Yeah,
But yeah, Jake Honeybear Heun will be fighting Roque Martinez at Rizin 16, June 2nd. You can watch it on Fight TV. It's going to be at heavyweight. Someone's going to get knocked out in the first round, I think.
I reckon.
And it's going to be, nonetheless, it'll be an exciting fight. And Jake, good luck in your fight. And we definitely would love to talk to you again when you have future fights in Rizin.
I'll tell you what, we'll talk after this fight. We'll talk about my win, all right?
Okay, that's great. That'd be even better.
Easy done, brother. Thanks for having me on.
No problem. Take care.